In this tutorial, we will see how to set up VS Code editor. But before that, let me give you a brief introduction about it. Visual Studio is a freeware source code editor made by Microsoft, and the basic build of VS Code is JavaScript as well. So to download VS Code editor, we will first go to its official site. So let me open code.visualstudio.com, where on the left we have download for Windows button with a drop down option that helps us select the operating system for which we want to download the VS Code. Click on the button to download and we will agree to the license, and next is the location where the VS Code setup will be downloaded. You can change it if you want to, else click next. If you want to create a desktop icon, then select this option, and there are other options that you can select as per your requirement and click next. Now this starts installing and let's click on the finish button. Now as you can see, it is successfully installed and here is the desktop icon. So let's open VS Code editor and understand the tools and features of this programmer friendly code editor. Why programmer friendly? That we'll learn in a moment. So the first page that appears is the welcome page that provides you with various options to get started with, like creating a new project or a file, also editing the older projects, accessing recent projects, customizing tools like programming languages, color themes, etc. Now let's try to understand the salient features of VS Code editor. The very interesting and programmer friendly feature, as I said earlier, is that VS Code is IntelliSense, which means it provides beyond syntax highlighting. That is, it provides autocomplete based on variable types, function definitions, and imported modules. On the left side, the first icon, that is the Explorer option, displays the menu of your current files, folders, and projects. The next option is Search. That is nothing but find and replace that helps you find required keywords in the currently opened files so that you do not have to go through huge lines of code. For example, let's create a file test.html. Here in find, let's say JavaScript. You see that it searched for the word JavaScript, and now let's replace it with Python. And here click on replace all and it replaces wherever it finds the word JavaScript. This way it saves a lot of time. This we will see in detail in the forthcoming sections. The other feature is Run and Debug that helps you to debug code right from the editor with help of breakpoints, call stacks, and an interactive console. It also has built-in Git commands. That is, source control feature makes working with Git and other software configuration management providers easy. It helps the developers to review diffs, stage files, and make commits right from the editor. The push and pull from any SCM service is possible. And last but not the least, the extensions featured by Visual Studio community that provides plugins that you can install to add new languages, themes, debuggers, and connect to additional services, and they don't even slow down your editor. Here if I click on this option, for example, Python, JavaScript, ES6 code snippets, HTML snippets, and many more recommended extensions as well. Let's say I want to create a C++ file. I'll say test.cpp. You see here it shows a message to install recommended extensions to support C++. Here I click on show recommendations, and similarly let me create test.py. That is the Python file. Here it shows a message to install recommended extensions to support the Python file. Also, easy deployment feature, that is, you can deploy and host your React, Angular, Vue, Node, Python and more sites all with ease. This was all about setting up and understanding what spellbinding VS Code has to offer the developers. In the next tutorial, we will see a few extensions and various shortcuts and tricks to help developers code accurately and faster.